Hello, hello, and welcome back for more desperate flailing as Perfidious Pete's Ozark Mountain Helldevils continue their heartfelt campaign to be the kindest, gentlest chaos team in all of Blood Bowl. And I mention the kindness and gentlest, of course, because despite possessing what should be a fairly terrifying front line, the Helldevils displayed a decidedly velvet touch in their last match against the Strong Hammers, dishing out not even a single injury to the Dwarven squad. Now, granted, dwarves are notoriously tough, but one would think the Helldevils would have at least responded in kind after the Dwarven team brutally murdered Beastman Rufus in a shocking display of bloodthirst, but in a surprising display of true southern gentility, the Helldevils, instead of answering murder with murder, meekly turned the other cheek and simply scored another touchdown to honor their fallen Beastman. It was a truly noble moment for the Helldevils. I really felt good about them. Problem is that although they did show some true sportsmanship and fine, upstanding southern character, it really didn't help the team a whole hell of a lot. In fact, the Helldevils are worse off after their win than they were when they started, since they garnered a meager 30,000 gold for their win, and Rufus Jr., of course, has refused to report to camp for training until he has avenged his murdered pa. And I have a feeling that's going to leave us in for some sort of manner of Hatfield and McCoy-style blood feud, because Rufus Jr. is out for revenge, but nobody holds a grudge like a dwarf. I mean, they have the whole book of them and shit. So it's probably going to be a little family-on-family crime sometime down the road, but until such time, really, there's nothing to do but enjoy the drama, because, hey, that's what Blood Bowl's all about. So let's look at this week's matchup. We're going to take a quick look at the roster, of course. Beastman Rufus is missing. We cannot afford to replace him. We have no money to spend on any kind of staff upgrades. I'd love to get my hands on another reroll, or more importantly, an apothecary, which is sort of what we're going for. But until we can replace Rufus, we can't really afford to do that. We did win our last match, of course, 2-0. Picked up a little SPP, but not a lot. We got MVP, of course, went to Wilbur the Beastman at random, and then Orville and Billy Bob scored our touchdowns. So we did pick up a grand total of 11 SPP. Not fantastic, and definitely less than I had hoped for, but better than nothing, since we did get the win. This week's matchup is going to be against the Blizzard Murderers, a Chaos team with a considerably higher rating than ours. And I think it's time for the drama of Blood Bowl, so let's get to it. We should pick up a Journeyman here. Yep, okay, so we do have a Journeyman. That's going to bring our team total up to where we don't get any inducements. Honestly, that's fine. With the Journeyman on our squad, we're going to be dead level. So let's just get to battling here. Let's make the blood happen. And gentlemen, Helldevils, this time, please, if you could, maybe bring a little blood to the Blood Bowl. I know you went with Velvet Paws against the Dwarves, but it's not exactly how you guys are supposed to roll. I mean, you're supposed to be a murderous crew of southern thugs. Think, well, you gotta think, gotta go a little bit deliverance on this one. We're absolutely going to take the ball on offense. I would like the chance to bash the other team before they get a chance to bash me. Now, this is interesting. Got a lot of Beastmen. I do see they have 4 Chaos Warriors, but their Beastman is either off the field or unavailable, so we're going to have a decided advantage in the bashing department. And can we capitalize on this in a more fruitful fashion? I think the answer is yes on this setup. Let's move our Beastmen forward here. This way we can maybe throw a couple extra blocks, just in case we need them. And we want to have you back. All right, so this guy is our loner. This is our journeyman, Brisnagor. We don't want him anywhere near the ball, so let's get him out of there. In fact, we should probably put him on the line. I mean, if anybody's going to be doing duty on the line, I would rather have it be that jerk-ass. If somebody's going to take one for the team, I hate to break it to you, Brisnagor, but that somebody going to be you. If there's going to be a Beastman barbecue when this game is over, you're going to be the one who's getting spit roasted, and not the kind of spit roasting you might actually enjoy, the kind that involves you being slow cooked over a fire. If you get a gentle gust of wind, ball's going to scatter an extra tile. Not really that big of a deal. We're not even going to make much of an effort to pick the ball up, in fact. We're more interested in bashing this Chaos team into tiny, tiny chunks. We could get to there and make a reasonably effective cage with our Beastman on the corner, but I wouldn't mind moving it forward an additional tile if we can make that happen. So, got a 2-die block here. Let's go ahead and start things off. Wow, for once we didn't roll either both down or attacker down with one of our Chaos Knights to start the match. That's highly unusual for us. Usually we have the worst luck ever with Chaos Knights. I roll terribly with these guys. Like, for instance, this happens every time. It's either both down or defender down every time. 2 die blocks, and that's all I ever get. Alright, so we're going to endeavor to try and keep this line moving to the right, and I think since we have been forced to squander our reroll, that now is the time to try and pick up the ball, just to see if we're going to wind up with it. I'm sure we're going to fail to pick it up. Holy shit, they actually picked up the ball for a change. Remarkable. So we're going to bring this Beastman up to shore up our flank. I'm considering having this guy come over to sort of broadside us, but I think that's patently the wrong move, since he's probably going to wild animal if he doesn't get a chance to block. So let's form up as much of the cage as we can without requiring another block. Can you make it over there? You could, but it would require a GFI. It's a little risky. All right, we're gonna take the risk. We need a 2+ here, man. Come on, don't let me down. All right, nicely done. Billy Bob is trustworthy. Always believe in Billy Bob. Always trust your Billy Bob. Your Billy Bob is gonna do you a good turn. Trust in your Billy Bob. Let's see if we can push this guy back off the line and maybe, oh, beautiful. We get a fantastic block. Nicely done, Cousin Horton. So Cousin Horton pulling the velvet gloves off early, although I'd like to point out we still haven't actually done any legitimate injuries ever. But still, we've got the cage formed up, and this is going to let us do some fantastic work here with our big man. Go get him, Cletus. Bring the horns to bear, baby. All right, well, Cletus is going to follow this up with a Frenzy. The Frenzy actually roll here, not bad. Going to let us put a little additional pressure on the enemy. We'll be able to get in some more tackle zones. So Cletus has got their middle of their army pretty well tied up. This is looking all right, actually. We've got a pretty strong little setup, and we've got a chance here for some open field moves for Joe Bob. We could have Joe Bob just go deep and try to pull up a quick score, maybe. Or he could fall down and bust his head open. That's the other thing that could happen. Had he stayed on his feet, we might have had a chance to drive in a quick goal. Just a quick 2-turn score. Would have been beautiful, but I don't think it's going to happen. Definitely not now. Alright, so our opponents, the Blizzard Murderers. Also, if you can murder a Blizzard, that's some... I mean, that's a remarkable skill. To be able to murder a Blizzard. That's interesting. They're always talking about WoW killers. Is this what they mean? Are they talking about the legitimate Blizzard Murderers? Is this the Blizzard they're talking about? Alright, so it looks like Cletus is going down in a heap. That's going to free up a lot of these guys to make some counter moves, but it looks like they're just piling up around Cletus. So the AI was some questionable decision-making here. Okay, here comes the backup. Because I think we can likely string out a line and just have our Beastman Horde advance. We're really only going to need 1 block. Alright, so not a whole lot here that impresses me from the team. This is going to be a 1-die block if we throw it. I would prefer to not throw that until we get a chance to get some backup. What are you? You're a 2-die block, so let's go ahead and start here. Defender down, excellent. We're going to push him that way, and we are going to follow this up. We killed a man! Worm Alki Piosi is dead! So finally, somebody coming out of the booth to bring a little bit of the pain. Uncle Daryl getting some payback for his fallen homie. His boy, Rufus. You don't treat Rufus that way, man. You just don't treat Rufus that way and get away with it. You will not treat Rufus like that. We got the knockdown here. This is excellent for us. We're going to follow this up as well. And now we've got a huge lane of open field. We can really make some stuff happen here. All right, so if you're going to be our anchor, which you are because you're our slowest team member, so we're going to run our Chaos Warrior here. Uncle Jessup is going to be the anchor part of this team. We're then going to bring Beastman Orville. Yes, yes, the famous Orville Redenbacher of the Redenbacher brothers. This would be a GFI, a double GFI. I don't necessarily like that. Let's not take a huge risk here. Let's go ahead and maintain the cage. I still think this is the safer move. If this guy had stayed on his feet, and our last move will probably be a dodge out of this tackle zone to try and get downfield a little bit, if we can come up with something good. Alternatively, we could go for the crossfield pass. Some advantage to that as well. Instead, I think we're going to come over here and try and negate a few of the tackle zones on Cletus, because Cletus is not in a good way. He is probably going to be our blitzer, and by probably, I mean he's definitely going to blitz. We're going to want to take... Yeah, we got a 2-die blitz here. Let's take it. We can push this Beastman back. Or maybe kill him. Ideally, we'll kill him. If you could kill him, that'd be brilliant, Cletus. Maybe make with the kill. Cletus is not feeling especially bloodthirsty today, but that's fine. If we're going to go for it, let's go for it big. We're going to be 67% to dodge with a double GFI on the end. And Joe Bob here taking some strong risk for the team, but they paid off. So he's going to be in the open, ready to receive a potential pass for the score. Do I want to throw a one-die block here? You know what? I don't actually want to risk knocking myself down. I would rather maintain these tackle zones on the enemy. Let's just end our turn. It would be nice to do a little additional bashing, but if we can get a quick score, the extra bashing may be entirely unnecessary. The more of the enemy team we can keep over in this area, the less resistance we're going to have as we prepare to advance down the field. And it looks like they're only going to really get 1, possibly 2 blocks on our cage. And we should have a pretty good strength advantage with our Chaos Warrior over here. Okay, so they're not even going to blitz at the cage. They're blitzing at our Lone Warrior, trying to free up more personnel. A questionable play from the AI, especially considering that it didn't even get the knockdown. And so the Blizzard Murderers looking like they're suffering from some perhaps poor decision-making here, questionable coaching. We're only going to need 1 block to free up our runner. All right, well, they're getting some knockdowns now. So we would need to either dodge, throw, or block our way free of this. None of which should be a huge problem, really. All right, so first things first, we could try and blitz our way free. I don't really like that. Let's go ahead and stand up with Orville. I don't want to take anything too terrifyingly risky as our first move. Let's just make some basic, solid, quality blocks here. Get you knocked down. We're going to follow that up. Excellent. So we are going to have to blitz on this guy at some point with someone if we want to get him free. So let's bring this guy up here, expand our tackle zones very slightly. And then I think we got a blitz here with Uncle Jessup. So Uncle Jessup's going to take the 2-die blitz. This guy's name every freaking time. Every time, it's both down. I tell you, my Chaos Warriors are cursed. Or specifically, Uncle Jessup, perhaps, is cursed. I roll Snake Eyes or both down constantly. Like a ridiculously, absurdly, inordinately high percentage of the time when I'm rolling with Chaos Warriors. I've had the same experience with Black Orcs as well. It seems like they just simply refuse to participate in fights. They roll terribly. It's either just my luck with big guys or something with the game, and I'm still sort of on the fence. I've played a number of games against the AI, and I have to say the AI does not play especially skillfully. They seem to try and make up for their lack of skill with what I'm thinking is maybe fudged dice rolls. And if that's the way it goes, I'm going to be real disappointed in Blood Bowl. So we can't score no matter what we do, unless we were to hand it off and do a double GFI. If we hand it off with a double GFI, we'd have a chance to score. But this is Chaos Team, man. Part and parcel of the Chaos gig is throwing powerful blocks. I really think we got to go for the blocking here. If we were to block there... Oh, that guy stood up. That's right. Okay. So how do we want to handle this? Well, we should probably stand Jim Bob up. I'd love to get the blitz off on that guy. It would be a 2-die blitz. That would free us up to potentially... You know what? I'm going to go for the passing score here. That was a questionable dodge right there, but we were in as good a position to take the dodge there as we were ever going to be in. So starting with the dodge, I feel okay about it. And now we've got the chance to complete a short pass for the pickup. Now I am going to move a little closer to the end zone because I do want to be in a position where we can cover the ball in case the pass does not connect. We want to try and have as much additional coverage as we can get. This is a risky move. If we're going to gamble, let's at least gamble smartly. Let's make conservative gambles. We're going to bring Beastman Wilbur, because again, Beastman Wilbur here he's not exactly a fantastic passer. He doesn't even have the pass ability, doesn't have a great agility. 67% for the short pass, 67% for the catch, and a touchdown. Bonus SPP as well for completing the pass. It's 1-zip Helldevils, and the Helldevils with the early advantage of the kill. So now we've got our opponents 11 on 10 and an early lead. This game is looking, I don't want to say in the bag, because it's one touchdown. We can't really say it's in the bag with 1 touchdown, but it definitely is looking like advantage Helldevils. And I don't really want to set up with this defense. We got a lot of turns here. I think we put up a strong, forward, powerful line. As tough and rough as we can get it. You know what? Let's consolidate. I don't like... Actually, don't I have a set defense? I guess I don't. Alright, well, let's make one. So we're going to put 5 men strong right on the front line. Just collapse down. Everybody supporting Uncle Daryl. God damn it, Daryl. What the hell you're doing. Probably hanging out with your brother... Daryl and your other brother, Daryl. Or at least Larry and your other brother, Daryl. Ah, Bob Newhart. We hardly knew ye, and that was not necessarily a bad thing, because as shows go, Newhart was not fantastic. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. You know what? Let's back these guys up off the line, actually. I don't need to be giving the opponent free blocks. We have no idea how their offense is going to be structured. So let's back this up just a little bit. We do have our 2 deep men. We don't really need Joe Bob and Jim Bob back that deep. This is a Chaos team. They're not really hugely likely to score. So let's save this setup. Confirm. See what we got here. All right, so Cletus has given us an overwhelming advantage in the middle here. We got Cletus in the middle, boy. You don't want to mess with Cletus, especially not when he's been drinking and he's had more than a handle or 2. Old Jim Bob's Triple X brand today. All right, so the Blizzard Murderers get a free move. They can move their entire team by 1 square. My guess is they're probably going to move that guy into the ball. No, the AI did not take advantage of the 1 square of free movement, which seems odd. They probably should have at least tried to catch the ball. All right, that's a highly questionable play, unless they're going to try and use that guy to set the cage. All right, so the Blizzard Murderer is going to use one of their 3 rerolls here on the ball pickup. Wise move. They're throwing a blitz? Okay. I'm not sure why that was a blitz. Oh, because they want to move after it. All right. He's going to be in a tackle zone, though. This, I'm not sure what the AI is trying to achieve here. I don't see really what advantage this garners them. They did knock Uncle Daryl off the line. You'd fucking deserve that, by the way, Daryl, for that previous play. I guess they're just going to try and bash their way straight down the field. From the looks of it, this appears to be what the AI is trying to do, is just straight up smash us forward down the field and rip a big hole here on the left side of our defense. And with the die rolls they're getting, it's looking like it's going to work for them. They've managed to shift our entire team here. We're all down, but they've left powerful gaps in the backfield. That guy's moving a 6. He's going to be able to not really go very far. So this has created some intriguing opportunities for us. If we go, that requires a GFI. So we're going to go around here and just try and put some straight up pressure on the ball carrier. First off, we're going to have Uncle Daryl, Uncle Jessup. Come on, Jessup, on your feet. Let's go here, fellas. Come on. Cousin Festus, up. Horton, get on your feet, man. Why does Festus and Horton sound like a type of ice cream? Try Festus and Horton's ice cream. Now in your local dairy center. Festus and Horton's. Best ice cream money can buy. Although then again, I would have to assume that Festus and Horton's would not actually be the best ice cream that money can buy. I'm guessing it would be like the 7th to 25th best ice cream that money can potentially buy. We're going to come here, cancel a couple tackle zones. And I think it's time, let's start throwing some blocks here. My goal is to try and create a little hole here for our team to fill in. So we're going to come, try and bust out their center. If they're trying to take out our center, we want to try and keep it as strong as possible. So we're going to bring Cletus over there. This should be a 1-die block. Yeah. We could bring in some backup. We also still have our blitz action, which we haven't used. If we blitz to here, it's a 2-die blitz. I'm willing to take it. If we can take one of their Chaos Warriors down, the horns are going to be nice. Gives us a bonus advantage on our injury rolls. We're going to stay put on this one, though. Not follow that up. All right. Well, we got the knockdown. Didn't get the kill. Let's throw this 1-die block. See if maybe we can sort of push our way free. All right. Well, that worked solidly. We're going to push him towards the edge of the pitch, and we are going to follow that up. If we can kick Farley Tusk, or whatever the hell that guy's name was, off the field, that will be handy for us. And we have most of the enemy team in tackle zone, so they're not going to have a lot of people who could drop back to engage our blitzing beastmen who are coming in at their ball carrier. No idea what the AI is thinking here, or if it's thinking at all. I mean, thinking objectively is not a thing that applies to artificial intelligence, which this truly can't even be called. It's merely a program designed to analyze the pieces available on the field and their status, and then respond with a rote set of moves, would be my guess. Still, I have no idea what the hell it's thinking or doing, because a lot of these behaviors seem pretty questionable. Some of its decision-making seems a little suspect, like this being your blitz move here. Not real sure that's fantastic. And he's going to push us back, that's fine, and he's got some follow-up blocks, but that leaves this guy completely unmolested with a pretty strong chance of being able to make it to the ball carrier here. Wolfie Claw. Man, your chaos names, guys, you need to invest in some better names. Scruzzy Hide. Farley Tusk. Your names are, frankly, sort of embarrassing. I kind of feel bad for you guys. It's like you came straight out of the Chaos Waste with not even the 3rd grade education that has been granted to the members of the Ozark Mountain Helldevils. Now, let's face it, the Helldevils aren't rocket scientists or anything, but every single one of them at least finished and matriculated from Mrs. Jessup's 3rd grade class. I mean, they all graduated 3rd grade at least. So we've got a bit of a problem here on our flank, but I think it is a solvable problem. If we can blitz our way for... I don't want a 1-die blitz. If we can push this... That's a 1-die block, huh? Also a 1-die. Well, we can improve that. We've got a hole here in the middle. I think we need to take advantage of Uncle Jessup. So let's bring Jessup back to here. Bring him in here. We're going to cage up on this guy. This will give us much stronger blocks against him. There we go. Now we got the 2-die. He's in the middle of a bit of a fuck box, and we're going to push him back. Hopefully he goes down. We will be following this up. Beautiful. Chaos Warrior down. All right. Let's see if Cletus can make us a hole here. Cletus is... He never fails. Cletus is trustworthy. You got to trust the Cletus. If you're going to trust anyone, trust Cletus. Now, we need to get rid of that gentleman because he is still a bit of a problem. We should have some quality blocks here, though. Yep, a bunch of 2-die blocks. We're going to take these. Hopefully, Cousin Festus refuses to let us down here. Follow that up, Festus. There you go. Nice. We still have a dodge. We still have a tackle zone. That's a problem. Do we have any way to eliminate that tackle zone? The answer is sadly no. We do not. I mean, we can sort of go around it with our back crew. Let's take this block just to get this guy out of the road. We are going to follow this up as well. Alright, so let's get a little help back here for this beast man. We can probably give him at least a 2-die block if we go this route. Oh, still just 1. Well, that's questionably useful. We can't blitz our way to the ball no matter what we do. I still like this move. All right, so we're not going to be able to get a blitz on the ball carrier, but that's fine. We don't necessarily have to score here. It would be nice if we could, but we don't necessarily have to score. Mostly we're concerned with just stopping this. And honestly, a both down here is not terrible for us. It's not ideal, but it's not the worst possible outcome we could have gotten. They are going to be able to open a lane for this gentleman, but we've got a lot of backup. Especially the fact that Cletus is over here is pretty reassuring. I'm reassured by the presence of Cletus. His big, burly, furry hide always makes me feel just a little bit better about being me. A lot like Randall Reigns and stealing a car, you know. Randall Reigns would steal a car and immediately feel better about being him. I feel immediately better about being me based on the delightful, shortly furred hide of old Cletus here. Get a big block. Defender stumbles. They should not be able to push us off the pitch with the defender stumbles roll. Billy Bob might get the fuck knocked out, though. He just got jacked. Yeah, you got knocked the fuck out, son. So Billy Bob is going to be taking a little bit of a nap now. Over on the sidelines. We have no bonuses to get him back, but we are already at a 1-player advantage since we did manage to kill one of the enemy team's beastmen early. This guy is in a bad spot. I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to come up here, and the Blizzard Murder is going to use one of their 3 rerolls for no effect. All right, well, this guy is in a terrible position. Straight up bad. We've got a lot of guys that can really put a hurting on this fella. So let's take, you know what? This block, actually, I like a little bit better. He didn't necessarily get the roll I might have liked, but that's okay. We can follow that up. Now, we can put a man... We could take an even block here. If we wanted to, we could take the even block. I think objectively that's probably the wrong decision. Let's try and improve that a little bit. All right, Cletus, I need you to plow the road for me here, pal. Knock me up, make me a hole. That'll do, actually. We have a clear path. We do have a clear path to the ball carrier. Okay, so we can get a 2-die blitz on the ball carrier, and nope. Oh, we still have this guy who's still a problem. Shit. I don't want to take that dodge. Well, it looks like it's going to be a 1-die blitz. It's going to be about the best we can do. We can bring this guy... Oh, shit. Oh, that was... Okay, that was a patent mistake. I should not have walked away from that tackle zone. We got extraordinarily lucky right there. That was ridiculously lucky. I did not deserve that, but I am thankful for having gotten it. That was a patented mistake. Walking away from that tackle zone was foolish. Cousin Horton's gonna just push back and follow this up. I was hoping for the knockdown. If we eliminate this guy, we could go here. I mean, we're gonna get a 1-die block with that guy pretty much regardless. Either way we do it, we've got the block there. That guy is in the wrong square for us. I wanted to blitz on the ball carrier, but I don't want to have to dodge to get there. Alright, well, let's take this 2-die block just to start things off. If nothing else, this makes next turn a little bit easier for us by simply putting some impediments in front of the enemy runner. And what we could do... Could step to there, and then blitz. Alright, we're going to have to do it. I don't necessarily like it, but we can... You got to stand up, actually, because we need you negating his strength bonus. So we're going to have to blitz here. This is not the greatest blitz we've ever taken, but we've got to stop the ball carrier somehow. It's a 2-die. We got the push. I'm going to push him back this way, actually, into Cletus, and we're absolutely going to follow that up. Now, the problem is we've got old Orville there, who is now in a very vulnerable position as a result, likely to get tossed off the pitch by that Chaos Warrior. It's sacrifice we have to be prepared to make. And I'm going to take this 1-die block at their Warrior. Ooh, we got the knockdown. Nice. Let's follow that up. It's unlikely we're going to get the ball back and score, but it looks like we have a pretty damn good chance of stopping this drive of the Blizzard Murderers. I'd like to take a moment here just to rap with you, if I might, pal. I've got you, my big man, my 5-strength Minotaur Lovely, next to the old Ulfie Claw here. If you could crush him like a flabby grape, I would definitely appreciate it. If you could make with the much crushing and have him be not alive anymore, that would be beautiful. We're actually going to keep our guy on the field because the enemy is choosing to still try and create a lane for their runner, even though he has effectively nowhere to go. As soon as they went to block there, he can't take it to the outside. All right, so a lot of pushing going on. The Blizzard Murderers looking a lot like our team looked in our last game against the Dwarves, where everything we threw just resulted in a push, both down. That's going to end the computer's turn? No, they're using a reroll. So the Blizzard Murderers spending their last reroll on what was largely a completely irrelevant block. We may go for a foul, actually, as well. We've got one set up. Let's see what we can do first with our big man. 2-die block on a ball carrier. I am comfortable with that. This is going to loose the ball, so let's punch it over here. Followed up on the frenzy. Ulfie Claw is also injured. Mighty blow. Cletus smashing his collarbone. 1 point of strength. That's a permanent injury for our enemy. And the ball is loose. Very interesting. You know, we only have one turn. Can we get anybody into the end zone? Can we get literally anyone into the end zone? Doesn't look like it. Son of a bitch. That would have been beautiful if we could have picked this up and thrown it. If we could, you know, we should still probably go for the pass, actually, just for the SPP, if nothing else. So let's bring this unit over here. We'll try and pick up the ball and pass it if we can, but that's going to be definitely sort of our last move play. We're going to take whatever blocks we can get beforehand. So first things first, let's see if we can get a little block here. And we're going to try and foul this Chaos Warrior. If possible, we're going to try and put a good quality, high damage foul on him. If we can take him out for the next half, that gives us an even bigger advantage. That's probably about as good as we're going to do. I don't really see an advantage in having Cousin Horton stand, really. I don't. Can we get any better blocks? I don't want to do the foul there. We can't get him over to assist that foul. We could make this pass a little shorter by just coming over here with Joe Bob. SPP, any SPP we can get, any we can farm, it's going to be useful. We want to farm as much as we can. We didn't pick up the ball, so it's completely irrelevant. That entire strategy, false hope. All of it. It was all false. Nothing we could do. Still, I love our position. We've got a 1-goal lead. The opponent has effectively no chance at all to score. They don't even have a unit that can make it into the end zone. They're just going to be throwing blocks, and I forgot to foul. Well, actually, I didn't get a chance to foul. Never mind. Would have fouled if I had gotten the chance. I would suspect the computer is probably going to try and set up a high-quality foul here. If the computer can get a multiple-die foul, they absolutely will do it. Looks like old Jim Bob is sucking some turf. So Jim Bob and Joe Bob, both of the Bob brothers, taking a little bit of a nap here. little disappointed, guys. The Bobs. Then again, okay, Brisnagor is also KO'd. That guy's he's our loner, so we don't really give a shit what happens to him. Still, a little disappointed. 3 of our team deciding to take a nap on the final turn. That's going to be a bit of an equalizer. We have injured 2 of theirs. Well, 1 injured, 1 dead, so they're not coming back. We got none of our KOs back. None. Not a single one. Brilliant. So despite having killed 1 and injured 1, our team is actually playing shorthanded. We have 3 Beastmen here. Oh, this is bad. Alright, well, we can sort of set this up. Now, granted, the enemy team doesn't really have an overwhelming offensive advantage either, because they're too short as well. But still, don't like being short-handed. I also don't like being short-handed because it makes it harder to masturbate when you got the small hands. When you got a really gigantic dong like I do, it makes it tough to jerk it every night. Okay, I'm completely lying, but still. I can see where having small hands would be disadvantageous in certain situations. Blizzard Murderers get an extra team reroll. Sure, because they needed 4. That's respectable. I was just thinking, you know, 3 probably isn't enough. These guys need 4 rerolls. We can see why they don't have a big man. Clearly, the Blizzard Murderers spent all of their cash on rerolls and none of it on actual personnel. Starting off things nice. That is an unusual first blitz. They always tend to come around that corner and try to blitz that guy. This is a pattern I've noted in the behavior of the AI. And it seems dubiously useful, I gotta admit. I mean, they already had a 2-die block on that guy. Why did they need to use their blitz move there? Technically, before they knocked him off the line, they actually had more 2-die blocks. They're not going to block our big man at all. Uncle Jessup is KO'd. Good God, guys, come on. Everybody is fucking unconscious at all times. Stay awake, please. AI getting some very lucky knockout rolls here. And I'm not sure if luck actually applies. And again, the computer playing... This is bad. The AI has made very dubious decision-making here. They went all for blocks. We're probably going to blitz with this gentleman if we can make a hole. But well, actually, we should just blitz the ball carrier. I mean, we've got a 1-die blitz on the ball carrier, and that's in fact what I'm going to do. They put nobody out here to block these guys at all. And the thing is the computer did have units available to come out here and at least put a tackle zone on these guys, and it just chose to completely flat-out ignore it. So let's go for the blitz. I mean, it is only a 1-die blitz, but if we can knock the ball loose, we're in a good, we'll be in a good position. We did, in fact, knock the ball loose. No need to use the reroll. We're going to follow this up. Prick Gores is injured. Prick Gores. Why does that sound like a kid I went to high school with? It's like, you know, the guy who was kind of a jerk and you called him by his last name. Be like, fucking Prick Gores. God, I hate that piece of shit. Goddamn prick. All right, so we're going to use our reroll on the ball pickup. It's not going to work, but we're going to use it. Oh, it actually did work. So with a double GFI, we could open some space to where they would only be able to blitz us with 1 beast man. That would be the best they could do. I think it's worth the risk, even though we have already used our reroll. Even though we already used it, we may be able to just take this one in and score. So we have a bit of a questionable decision to make here. I would love to get a tackle zone on this guy, but we have to take a dodge in order to do it. I think before we do that, let's throw some blocks here with Cletus and see what he can come up with. All right, he got the knockdown. Push you to there. Just expands our options a little bit, and then we are going to take this move. The dodge is going to be required, and we failed it. I would have loved to have been able to get a tackle zone on that beast man, so they would have had to make a dodge in order to even get a 1-die block on us. But based on the fact that the Blizzard Murderers still have 4 rerolls at their disposal, it was probably never going to amount to much. So they are going to go for strictly the 1-die block, or they may make some... Well, it seems unlikely they'll try with that guy. Why did they not put that guy on the ball carrier for the 2-die block? That makes no kind of sense. He could have reached the ball carrier as well and made this a... It was already a 2-die block. Well, I suppose that makes perfect sense then. We are going to cough up the ball here. No surprise. We still have a chance to score. We could pick that ball up on a dodge and just try and run it in. I mean, we'd be basically playing for the desperation gambit, but honestly, at this point, I think the desperation gambit might be the right move. The computer seems completely uninterested in the ball with this Chaos team. They don't seem to give a tinker's damn. They're just looking to murder. And that's a sentiment that I can respect, I got to admit. I mean, I understand where they're coming from. They're doing a good job, too. Don't get me wrong. Our guys here are taking a bit of a beating. We're not going to be able to get you out of enough tackle zones for it to matter. So let's have you stand and come to here. And I hate to just have Uncle Daryl and Cousin Festus here just taking a beating for no real reason, but they are going to have to stand in here and sort of take this one on the chin. If we... Okay, so there is a chance we could get Cletus free to go help out in the backfield. If we push this guy here, Cletus is going to auto-follow up. We get the second block. That's actually good for us. We can start blocking this guy off of the edge of the pitch, or at least in that general direction. Got a 2-die block here for Cousin Horton. Horton's going to take the knockdown. Cousin Horton wades in, fist flailing. Oh, down goes the Beast Man, and San Mulgores is also injured. That's another advantage for us, and more SPP, a fractured arm. Don't mess with Cousin Horton once he's been drinking. I told you, man. Horton, he gets that bottle in him, man. Gets the spirit of the devil. And we're just going to go for the gamble here. It worked. We did not pick up the ball. All right, well, that's going to end our turn. But again, our enemy Chaos team, totally hampered. They're in no more of a better position to score than we are. The computer, of course, never fails to pick up the ball, it seems. 4 pluses they can roll at will. We have a great deal of difficulty with that, but the computer simply no problem at all. Uncle Daryl is injured. Nothing terrible, nothing terrible, nothing terrible. Okay, badly hurt is not bad. That just means Uncle Daryl is out for the rest of the game. All right, so we have to now start being cognizant of injuries on our remaining players. They're really getting worked over here. It seems unwise to let them go. We now have 2 guys. Yeah, this guy's going to take a 2-die block here. He's going down. All right, so we're in a bit of a pickle. We do still have a chance to score. Surprisingly, we still have a not unreasonable chance to score, actually. We're badly outnumbered. The enemy is in a superior position, but we still have a chance to score with a blitz. So we're going to bring, Cousin Horton, you got to go help this out. If nothing else, just to ensure that the enemy can't run it back the full length of the field, although they are running out of turns in that department. Wild Animal was due to fail at some point. I'm surprised we've made it this long without rolling one. Orville will come back to you. All right, so we're going to activate the blitz here. If we can get lucky, knock this ball loose, we actually have a chance to pick it up and score it with our blitz move. So let's move you 1 closer to the end zone. We're going to follow that. Ball comes loose. We pick up the ball, and we walk it in. Assuming we can pick it up. Well, there we go. Touchdown. That's it. 1 more for the Ozark Mountain Helldevils. Oh, yeah. Their second score, more SPP for the team. The Helldevils looking remarkably strong here because of some, I gotta say it, questionable coaching from the opposing team. Questionable coaching. Which only leads me to believe that they're going to start going full Bill Belichick method and just straight up fucking cheat. They've got 4 men down. We didn't get a single one of our KO guys back. Okay, we did get some back. All right. So we've got Uncle Daryl, who is badly hurt, and Jim Bob the Beast Man, who is still taking a little nap. So we need to delay the computer for a total of 5 turns. We're basically, at this point, I think, fighting a holding action. So we're going to adjust our strategy very slightly. If we're going to fight a holding action, let's set up in order to do that. As few people on the line as we can get to prevent, or rather, deny the AI as many opportunities to block our players as possible. And we're going to have our most valuable Beast Man. Not you, you're a loner with 0 SPP. I would hardly call you our most valuable Beast Man. Okay, Wilbur, definitely our most valuable Beast Man. Holy shit, Wilbur has 11 SPP already. So we're going to have Wilbur being our deep man. We want to try and avoid getting him hurt, if at all possible. Take that, Orville Redenbacher. Who's the most famous Redenbacher now? It's definitely your brother, Wilbur. You two were growing up. You used to beat on him, get on him, be all like, nobody gives a shit about you, Wilbur. You got the same name as a pig. Then they'd snicker snag on him and dump his books and give him a wedgie. Now who's the big man, huh? Now who's the big man? Sure, because I was just thinking, you know, the computer could use a 5th reroll. Yeah, I was just thinking that. I was like, you know, they don't have enough rerolls at 4. They could really use a 5th reroll. It would be useful for them. A 5th reroll. A little disappointed here. If we could pick up another cheap goal on the AI, I would be ecstatic. I do not expect us to score again, though, just based on raw personnel. Although, at this point, the two-man advantage is going our way. Uncle Jessup is stunned. Better than dead or injured. So the computer finally employing some tackle zones appropriately on our backfield guys. That's nice to see. Is it odd that I'm rooting for the AI? Is that a strange mechanic that they're getting so soundly beaten that I kind of feel a little bit bad for them? That I'm sort of pulling for them? They still have... Why are they refusing to engage these units? This guy should have come over here and put... okay. Seriously, this is some very questionable decision-making from the computer player here. Alright, we're going to leave Uncle Jessup down to sort of enjoy his nap. One die block. Not really enthused about that. We could up it and try and push this guy off the pitch. I'm not sure that's the best use of our available resources, though, because we can also do this and just go blitz the ball carrier. It seems like the right play. I mean, blitzing the ball carrier, we will have to GFI for it once, but that's not really a huge deal. Unless we fail, in which case it becomes a Titanic deal. But it's not, because we got the blitz off, so we're going to move you there. We are going to follow that up. KO'd the ball carrier. He's done. So now it's our two Beastmen versus a single lone Chaos Warrior. I got to think advantage is us, especially considering he didn't pick up the ball. The ball's going back and forth. So an impromptu game of catch taking place there. I do not want to try and step over and pick that up. The odds of that happening are small in the extreme. All right, our Beastman, you know what? This is probably not going to work because I have to assume... Well, that's the worst pathing possible. One GFI and a wild... I have to assume is wild animal. Yeah, okay. On the plus side, wild animal does not end our turn, so I'm okay with this. We're going to bring all-star Beastman Wilbur up here to knock himself the fuck out with a failed GFI. I'm not upset, actually. Still, I wouldn't mind having another reroll at my disposal, but all things considered, that could have been a lot worse. I mean, literally, it could have been worse. He could have fallen down and actually died. I have no idea why the computer went for the pickup before throwing a block to clear a tackle zone. That makes absolutely no sense. I mean, they could have thrown a 2-die block at either one of these Beastmen, cleared a tackle zone, and just improved their own chances of picking up the ball. What they just did there makes absolutely zero sense. None. So let's start throwing some blocks here. We have the momentum now. We should try and capitalize. While we've got things going our way, let's make sure they keep going our way. One die. I'm tempted to try... Yeah, you know what? No. I was going to go risky and try and throw a long block. Never mind. Wild Animal says we don't ever get to do anything. 2 times a game is not shameful. Where are you? Okay. So if we have you step to here, we can turn this into a 2-die block. Actually, that was a stupid move. I should have just had him go pick up the ball. Because I can make these all 2-die blocks, but I can't clear this tackle zone unless I blitz. And I already wasted my blitz action for Cletus. So that was a poor play. Little mistake on my part. I don't think it's going to matter, though. We've got the AI so fucking overwhelmingly dominated, it hardly matters. We're basically, at this point, pooping in the AI's mouth. I mean, we've got them down, and we're largely pooping in their mouth. I'm not even going to try for the ball here. I'm going to move you, shift you that way, follow this up. Farley Tusk is now also KO'd. Well, Chris Farley is permanently KO'd, so I suppose that's appropriate. I mean, he did get the big KO forever. If I pick up this ball, where would I want to position myself in order to try and be maximally effective with it? I'm thinking right here. This is a series of unlikely events. Joe Bob gets it done. All right, so we're going to leave Joe Bob there. They'll only be able to blitz him. We have tackle zones on every single one of their players. All right, so the move is actually pretty good. We can shuffle this guy closer to the edge of the field. We're going to follow that up. We maintain our tackle zone, and that buys us another 2-die block. Well, nope, still this guy's stronger than we are. Okay. But we still got him knocked down. Take him there. We're going to follow that up. And I'm thinking we might have a shot at another goal here. We have the enemy team so grievously outnumbered. I think we got a shot. We got a shot. We got a shot, guys. I think we got a shot here. All right, Orville. I mean, I know it's going to be Wilbur that scores again, which I assume is going to fucking just infuriate you. the lesser of the well-known Redenbacher brothers is gonna go for all of the glory. It's not gonna be fucking you and your little stupid... Oh, shit. Oh, that was Joe Bob, not Wilbur. Oh, broken neck is terrible. Losing a point of agility on a beast man is real shitty. So injuries flying fast and furious, and things are suddenly looking real bad. Joe Bob is hurt. We cannot afford to replace Joe Bob. Don't be hurt. Don't be hurt. Okay, stunned is fine. Hurt is not fine. Computer's going to use one of its billion rerolls here. And it will work, but they're still not going to be able to pick up the ball. We need to go into a more defensive mindset then. I don't want to try and score. Joe Bob, you didn't... He has a broken neck. Oh, that wasn't you. That was this guy over here. Who got the broken neck? Joe Bob, who did have SPP. Well, we might just give him block and make him into sort of like a ghetto blitzer, I guess, then. That's disappointing. We could blitz there. We actually have a lot of opportunities to blitz here. I still think we have a not unreasonable chance of scoring, honestly. We bring this guy here. That's going to get us a bonus block on this cat. That'll be a 2-die block. Nope, still just 1. Oh, he's getting +1 strength. No, because that guy's in a tackle zone. Why? Alright, well, we can make it a 2-die block, absolutely. We'll just move you there. I think we have Cletus go for the blitz. Come on, Cletus. Don't let me down, man. I need your powerhouse ass over here muscling people around. I need you pushing folk around. I gotta get you pushing, man. Gotta get pushing. Alright, well, this is not ideally what we had in mind, but... When I said I needed you pushing guys around the field, I meant murdering them. I didn't mean literally pushing them around the field like a fucking bulldozer. Or a snow... Yeah, you know what I meant. I didn't need you running around like you were plowing snow here in the winter up to Uncle Tom's farm on the day after the big snow came. Back in '06, when they had the big snow. Yeah, that's not exactly what I meant. I mean, I know you had to shovel a lot of snow that day and it was unpleasant, but still, that's not what I meant, man. It's not what I meant at all. We're getting really lucky with these 1-die blocks over here on this edge of the field, however. So we'll follow that up. And done. And that's it, because that's our whole team. Everyone has moved. So the numbers are rapidly dwindling in this chaos versus chaos match. We've got, look at this. It's a fucking bloodbath. Just the body count is unrealistic. And here goes one of the computer's 82 rerolls. Which they made, and pick up the ball. Okay, so things are sort of coming up computer, I guess. This block is going to be unfortunate for us. That was the computer's blitz, though. A little bit of push. You know what? At this point, you can't push me around. I'm sorry. This is not a Matchbox 20 song, and I don't care if you want to push me around all you want. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. I know Matchbox 20 is one of the greatest bands of the like mid to early 90s, but yeah, Wild Animal. It's gonna come up every now and then, or basically every time I decide to do anything, I guess. So we still got our 2-die block. That's good. Let's kick you out of the way. Good day to you, sir. And Drath Vile Mucus is KO'd. Drath Vile Mucus sounds very much like a Dark Jedi name. That's like a Sith Lord. Drath Vile Mucus is absolutely some manner of Sith. I think it's without debate that that guy is a Sith of some variety. Drath Vile Mucus. Sith Lord. I mean, he can be a Sith Lord all he wants. He's a fucking unconscious Sith Lord at the moment. So he can Sith it up as much as he likes. Doesn't matter. Take the blitz here. We probably should have took the blitz first and then had our Beastman actually try to pick the ball up and score, but it doesn't matter because the blitz failed anyway. So let's just follow that up. And, yep, that's going to be it for you. This mess over here, we'll have you stand up because you can assist. And we might as well take our block here. It's a ghetto block, but I'll take it. We'll push you. I'll push you back to the edge of the pitch. I don't care. Follow it up. And that's going to be it then. End of turn. So the game is rapidly drawing to a close here. This is the last turn for the Blizzard Murderers, and we will have one subsequent turn once this one is over. Still a little disappointed by the broken neck, and the computer's going to use one of its 82 rerolls. Yes, the number never goes down, and it actually didn't even matter. Wow. That's some bad mojo for the computer. Alright, so let's make this block as huge as possible. This is going to be a 3-die block from Cletus, assuming he God damn it, Cletus. That was my blitz, too. Fantastic. No, it was brilliant, Cletus. Fucking perfectly played, sir. That's like, what, 3 turns in a row you've done the wild animal thing? Yeah. No, I'm not at all disappointed, Cletus. Not at all. Here I was talking about how much I loved your furry goodness, and this both down. Does this no good? We've already... Well, we can't score then, because we're not going to be able to take the ball away from this guy. It's simply not going to happen. Alright, well, let's go to try and diminish our opponent and make sure they also lose their next game. Or let's just roll both down and have it be over. That's the end of the game. And Cousin Festus knocked himself out. A celebratory self-KO from Cousin Festus. He was so fucking excited by the win that he knocked himself unconscious. Fantastic. Like Henry Rollins on stage in Brazil just knocked himself the fuck out. I'll take an 0-2 win, though. Let's see how we did on the cash department. This is going to be the turning of the tide. This is going to be what tells the tale. You gotta be kidding me. 20 grand. No, we're re-rolling that. Okay, 40 grand is better, but still bad. 40 is better. We doubled our winnings with the re-roll. We've gotten 2 very kind of shitty. Brisnagor wants to join my team. He's 60 grand. He got no SPP. No, sir. You can go straight to hell, Brisnagor. If you had SPP, I might consider making you the new Rufus, but as it stands, you will just not be the new Rufus, sir. So let's look at the statistics. We had the ball 37% of the time, so did the Blizzard Murderers. We were in our own half only 6% of the time, the Blizzard Murderers 31% of the time. We were in the opponent's half pretty much every time we had the ball. We completed 1 pass, 1 catch. We succeeded on 49 blocks to the computer's 27. They knocked us out more. We killed more and inflicted more casualties, however. Only 3 KOs, but a lot of mayhem in the actual mayhem department. We suffered 37 blocks, 5 KOs, 2 casualties. A lot of SPP flying around. Cousin Horton picking up 7. He also got the MVP. Cletus with 2, Joe Bob with 3, Uncle Daryl picking up a pair, and Wilbur picking up 6. So I don't need to keep that replay for any reason. All right, well, let's go to the team roster then and start looking at some upgrades. Our team rating still only 900. Shockingly low. But we did pick up a couple promotions here. I'm real upset about Joe Bob losing that point of agility. Basically turns him into a lineman until we can buy a replacement. It's very disappointing. So, Cousin Horton, let's level you up, baby. All right, give me a good roll here. Ooh. Can we can actually pick a point of strength with that, can't we? No. Damn, almost. If this had been a hard 10, I think we could have gotten a point of strength. We could pick up a point of movement allowance or armor value. That's intriguing, but I think the answer is no. Mutations are really easy to get with Chaos, and Prehensile Tail Claws is also really good. It's really good. Guard would also be potentially useful. Claws is so desirable. That would turn Cousin Horton into an offensive slaughter machine. But you know what I think? Despite the fact that we rolled a 10, I still kind of got to choose block. As often as I roll both down with my Chaos Knights, my Chaos Warriors, I gotta take block. This probably is the single best upgrade we could have taken for Cousin Horton. It's going to make Cousin Horton into a ridiculous powerhouse, and Wilbur picking up a promotion as well. Let's see what Wilbur gets. Agility. No. We got a strength or a mutation. Now, Wilbur is one of our beastmen. He still has a 3 agility. You know what? I think we've got to go with extra arms for Wilbur and make him our dedicated ball carrier. If we give extra arms, that's going to let Wilbur pick up the ball or catch the ball or intercept the ball. It gives him a +1. So he would pick the ball up on a 2+. Yeah, we got to do it. So Wilbur's going to grow himself a 3rd arm. I don't know what's been in the juice that Cousin Wilbur's been drinking, but fuck, that looks hideous, Cousin Wilbur. I don't think that's actually a grown arm. It looks like somebody sewed an extra arm onto you. That's some Frankenstein-style bullshit right there. I guess Cousin Victor maybe did that to you, Wilbur. You really ought to, I don't know, return that to the store. That looks gross. And do we want to replace our missing player? That's the question. No, I think our money is better spent on an apothecary. I really do. We desperately need an apothecary for future missions, future matches. If we want to try and keep as few people as possible out of the hospital, an apothecary is going to be intrinsic to that. I think that's the right choice. Could have saved that broken neck from this round. All right. Well, 990, our next match going to be against the Sharp Marauders, a human team who I have pretty respectable confidence that we're going to beat the holy living shit out of. But we'll see. If you enjoyed the episode, feel free to drop a like down in the comment section. Of course, your support does really mean a lot to us. If you'd like to see more of the Ozark Mountain Helldevils' particular brand of Southern Genteel Blood Bowlality, you might consider subscribing as well. We post new episodes every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Right now, however, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.